Welcome to Secrets of the Wandering Wolf. I'm your host, Tom the Wandering Wolf, and this is episode 21. I decided not to take a break and continue uploading every Wednesday until I need one. And this week has been interesting as, one, I didn't know what I was going to talk about today because I didn't plan to, and two, I had a shift of perspective. When we're dealing with a lot of changes suddenly, and life seems to be getting a little harder, things seem to be building up, you're not really sure what thing to tackle first, a shift in perspective can help. And what I mean is, you look at the situation as an opportunity instead of a block or opposition. You reevaluate what it is that's troubling you. For instance, I had some anxiety building up. I had a talk with my other half and cleared some of the air with her about what I was feeling and some of the weight that's been on my shoulders, just so that I can put it down for a moment. And putting it down for a moment allowed me to say, hey, you know what? These aren't just challenges. These are opportunities to overcome and excel in an area that maybe I need a different viewpoint from. Maybe I need to open myself up to new opportunities. Maybe I'm blocking myself from the potential to move into a new career or get involved with other communities so that I can promote what I do and try something different. When we do the same thing over and over and over again, it gets stale. It doesn't really grow. There's not enough room for everyone, so you have to venture out into new areas. And what I learned even today, sitting with Odin and throwing the runes, was that I was having a hard time meditating. So instead of trying to force myself to do that, I threw the runes. And instead of forcing myself to have to analyze every aspect of the room, I let my intuition come through. What does this mean on the surface? What does this mean when I first look at it? What's coming through immediately? I wrote it down, I sat with it, put everything away, went to the table, and reanalyzed everything. Then I found some new messages. I separated myself from the space that I got them in to sit in a normal table. Look through my notes and look through some of my research and books and references and realize, oh, I was on point, but here's the deeper levels of what I was looking for. It was only changing my situation, my space, my environment. Even though it was a little change, I was able to see more. So when you're trying to make big life decisions, life changes, maybe you're trying to go somewhere new, take yourself out of the environment you're in, give yourself some space to think, some space to cultivate new emotions, new ideas, and new perspectives. When we're bogged down by everybody else's, we don't quite understand whose is whose. So you have to separate yourself from that environment, even if it's just going for a hike or a simple walk. The best thing I've been doing for the last couple of weeks is getting up every day, journaling, meditating a little bit through the act of journaling with my coffee, and then going for a walk. And I'll walk anywhere from 1 mile to 3 miles until I'm done and I'm satisfied. I encourage you to do the same. And if you've been following me on my school platform, I just talked about this in the process I go through in the morning on how to cultivate the day. When you're making these big changes, your morning matters so much that you want to make sure you're putting it together appropriately, even if you have 5 to 15 minutes. You don't need a lot, just a little. And so the wisdom for today is, if you can't figure something out, change your perspective. Take yourself out of the environment, take yourself out of the equation. And with that, everyone, thank you for joining me on episode 21. Today was probably the easiest podcast I've ever recorded, and the information was flowing very, very easily. Again, take yourself out of the environment and let the information flow so you're not blocked by everything. As always, I'd love it if you could like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let anyone and everyone know that you think could benefit from the wisdom from today and from previous episodes. Don't forget to check the description below. I have my links to Instagram and the school network there, where the Wandering Wolves community is growing slowly but surely. And I am putting more content on there in the forms of blogging, meditations, rune work, and classes coming up very soon. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this. And thank you for listening to Secrets of the Wandering Wolf.